Morning there, Joey on the Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel. Hit like, share, subscribe. Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel. I haven't said that in a long time. Totally forgot, everybody. Thanks for reminding me to do that call I used to always do. So, right now we're just looking at United States enhanced risk for 22,000 square miles. That's for Peoria, Illinois, Decatur, Champaign, Bloomington. So, Bloomington, Peoria, normal. I've been to those areas actually. Hitchhiking through in 1997, we got picked up by some people because it was a tornado risk that day. They said, hey, we're going to bring you back to the campus ministry. You can stay the night at the campus ministry. It was a sort of a biblical-based Christian campus ministry, right? They had a building there with some beds and whatnot in it. And then they took me out that night, took Steve and I out to dinner, and it was very nice of them, actually. I really enjoyed the experience, and it showed me what I believe real Christian behavior should be like, and it's becoming few and far between. I think if that was a common experience with Christianity, we'd probably all be clamoring to support you guys. But no, that's sort of the rarity. Nonetheless, I found that a couple times in my hitchhike through the United States where some of these pious people would really go out of their way for you. And I know that is part of what happens in America. I know it's part of who you are. So and I know there's a lot of good people down there. You know, so I get really scared when I see big tornado outbreaks like last weekend. Luckily, this isn't quite so bad, but we do have an enhanced risk. Still have that enhanced risk that 2 million people could be affected by, and it does touch on Chicago. So, an enhanced risk, that's 3 out of 5, basically, right? So we're concerned for them. Meanwhile, up the Oregon coast and up Washington, although BC seems to be to the north of that, we do have, and that's because we're in the wetter sector. This is probably the more dry sector down here. You're kind of past the post-frontal boundary that and into the drier slot. So you do have that risk of some, you could see some water spouts and funnels and tornadoes and things like that today. So enhanced, slight risk in the larger areas going around to Indiana and into Michigan. Here's what we got here. An enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms this afternoon, evening for parts of central and northern Illinois and west central Indiana. Scattered severe thunderstorms are possible this afternoon, evening from central northern Illinois to western Indiana. A few tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds will be possible. A 990 surface low over northwest Missouri this morning will continue to shift into the northern Illinois through late afternoon and into Indiana, Michigan, and southern Ontario overnight. Meanwhile, the exit region of a 90 to 100 kilometer plus not 500 millibar jet, so that's but the jet stream is moving pretty fast at 100 knots, will overspread Illinois and Indiana this afternoon into the early evening. That will help with the development there. Cloud cover and elevated convection this morning across Indiana and northern Illinois, along with lofted dust moving over the region, may inhibit heating to some degree into the afternoon. Furthermore, boundary layer moisture is expected to remain modest and most likely in the 51 to 54 range, given the 15Z upstream observation in the low 50s. If any stronger heating occurs, mixing this may further limit dew points. One thing that we do have that could affect this so far we're seeing is that there's been a big dust storm right now, and it's definitely affecting Missouri. I'm hearing that St. Louis right now kind of looks something like Oklahoma did last week right now. So that dust particles could block some of the sun heating and could make for a little less favorable condition for the development of tornadoes, right? So that's more or less what they're saying here in this all this complicated language. And phone's ringing while I'm trying to do work. However, the vertical shear will be favorable. Vertical shear will be favorable for supercells given elongated hodographs with enlarged looping low-level hodographs. Where'd everything go? These vertical wind profiles are already evident in VWP data from DVN and NELA. So could see some large favorable supercells there. Okay. So evolution of modest boundary layer moisture will be key for determining the tornado risk. So that's the other thing is we don't have necessarily the moisture in this one that they had last week, and you need that moisture to fire storms right up. A localized area of enhanced tornado potential may develop. Well, some risk for tornadoes will still exist with lower dew points. The risk would be more muted and likely less intense. Given the conditional risk for strong tornado or two will maintain 10% SIG. Tornado risk, otherwise somewhat low top supercells will also pose a risk for damaging gusts of wind and isolated hail. So dew points have gradually increased in the mid-50s this morning. Continued warm advection ahead of the wind shift with this afternoon should allow dew points to reach the upper 50s to low 60s. Not crazy high. While forcing for ascent will be weak compared to further north, it should be sufficient to erode capping in the persistent warm advection regime. Instability will remain modest, generally near or less than 500 joules per kilogram. So there's a chance today, but all in all, this isn't the most favorable we've seen. Well, let's have a quick look here on the windy. Just see on the backside, we're talking about how there was a dust storm going on down there this morning. As you can see right now, we got some of those strong winds on the backside this low, as often is the case, up to 80K in Dodge City. For now on, I'm going to refer to Doge as douche. Ship down the coast. It says 93, but then it says 63. So I'm not sure exactly what we're looking at here. 63. Okay, so some strong winds up the BC coast. Yeah, sure. Let's have just a quick look on the SAT and see what we're seeing here this morning for where our weather is. So there's our big storm. Oh, wow, look at it. Just absolutely huge. So that is moving its way. Well, you can see the direction it's facing, because already the isobars are reaching out towards Sudbury. So that more or less, your motion of your storm, it may be a little bit south of, just looking at this, where it was predicted to go. It was predicted to go up towards Timmins. That's possible. It could come down a little bit more towards Sudbury. These arrows seem to point more at Sudbury. That's not an exact science. However, that's something typically I see with the way storm motion moves, is that it spreads itself in the direction it wants to go first. So we can see lots of lightning in Chicago right now. Iowa City taking lots of lightning. And we got all the snow up from Sudbury to Timmins, more or less. So that streak of snow that we were looking at yesterday is showing up. So this is something that's concerning for me, is this. So after several days, and I tell you, people were kind of making this comment that, oh no, NOAA and NWS, the Storm Prediction Center, people are getting killed by tornadoes because of the cuts. And actually, I'm not saying that didn't happen at all, but from what I saw, the forecasters were just on top of it. These guys probably didn't have time to eat or go to the bathroom. They were on top of it. But for all their hard work, they wake up yesterday to find out that their building is on the list of leases to be terminated by douche. So Elon and his douche crew, NOAA Storm Prediction Center facility among planned douche cuts. The building lease issue is in flux, says a NOAA spokesperson, despite deadly storms over the weekend. One of the core facilities tracking severe thunderstorms and tornadoes is listed on the website of Elon Musk's douche as one with a planned office closure. The Storm Prediction Center, one of several entities housed at National Weather Center in Norman, Oklahoma, issues severe weather forecasts across the nation and identifies threat zones where dangerous thunderstorms and tornadoes could move through in days in advance. This is a disaster if this happens, okay? If they're trying to shut down Storm Prediction Center. And then there's every reason to think they will. Everything that I've been saying will happen is what's being threatened. So, I told you this was coming, and here we are. We're just seeing the threat. A spokesperson with National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the federal agency that studies reports on the ocean's atmosphere and coasts, as well as oversees Storm Prediction Center, confirmed their building lease issue is in flux. This is just insane, people, insane. So while we have tornado outbreaks on the go, this is a small scale one. We might see a couple tornadoes, so I don't know if I wouldn't say that's an outbreak, but the tornado weather day, nonetheless, is happening today. And you get to find out that the very people who, they save the country so much money. They save us. We rely on their data. They rely on our data here in Canada and the States. Any attack on them is an attack on us. It's an attack on our overall understanding of where the weather's at, where the climate's at, and what's going on. And they want to make sure that we are less and less able to understand the bigger picture. Okay, hit like, share, subscribe. We'll be back with BC Weather next.